Hello, everyone. This is the last of at least our current batch of entrepreneurial training for NSME students modules. And this one is on entrepreneurial leadership. So let me go ahead and share my screen and go to the presentation. There we go. And go to slideshow. Try to go to slideshow. There we go. Okay, so any venture in the world, certainly any small business, but really any organization in the world has four different kinds of shareholders, or stakeholders at least. And if you really want the venture to be sustainable, if you really want any organization to be sustainable, and this is sustainable in the broad sense of the word, that the organization is going to continue to healthily exist in the future in symbiosis with its surrounding environment. This is not just an environmental, uh, uh, physical environment sense of sustainability, but sustainability in terms of an organization which is going to continue creating positive value into the future. So you got customers, you got employees that work in the company, you've got owners of the company. Sometimes those are lots of different stockholders. Sometimes it's just one or a few people that own a small private business. And you've got the society at large. And each of those four groups needs to actually get something positive out of the venture, out of the organization, in order for the organization to be sustainable. So moving on from that, keep those four types of stakeholders in your head. So with all of those different stakeholder groups, like, it's to be a leader of anything, not just um, of organizations, but to get along with other people and try to achieve goals greater than just yourself. You have to get the concept into your head that everybody's on the same team. Like every member of every one of those stakeholder groups, all the different people in society at large, all the people that are customers, the employees, the owners, we're all on the same team. And it's really easy to say, oh, those like damn annoying employees, or man, my boss is like an idiot, or um, man, like the regulations from the government on our industry are ridiculous. That doesn't help to actually, as justified as those feelings may be, they do not help to actually get people moving in a positive direction. What actually helps to get people moving in a positive direction is to understand what they want. So, leading any group of people more than just yourself, you need to actually be curious and ask questions and really understand what each individual person's priorities and goals are. Now, if you're leading a 10,000 person organization, or you're the mayor of Bakersfield, for example, Mayor Go has about 400,000 citizens in the city of Bakersfield. It may not be possible to have individual one on one conversations with each of them, but that should be your stretch goal. And certainly, representatives of each of those stakeholder groups, customers, employees, owners, and society, um, representatives of each of the four groups should be people you listen to, people you are curious to understand what their goals are. So keep this mentality, we're all on the same team, and truly try to find out what each person on the team wants. Don't assume, don't try and convince them that what you want is right. Just understand what they want. And then try to find synergies. So there's got to be something in it for me, basically. If I'm going to do something, if I'm going to be part of an organization, there's got to be something in it for me. That's the way everybody feels. So if you're going to try and get your goals moved forward, if you have a certain vision for the company, you have a project that you want to see happen, or in a political sense, if you have a certain um, vision for how to change the government or change the society or whatever, if you want your goals to be accepted by others, you need to phrase them in terms of how they are synergistic with the goals that people already have. So, one of my goals in the world, for example, is to build two, three, four times as many businesses and jobs um, in Kern County as there were before. So, um, anybody that can help me build more of those jobs, I'm interested in working with them. Um, on a more personal note, I'm really excited about cooperations with our aerospace sector. So, anybody who wants to do cooperation with the aerospace sector, anybody who wants to work in that sector after they graduate, anything that has to do with aerospace, I'm interested. So if somebody wants to get me excited about things at CSUP or things in Bakersfield in general, it should have to do with building companies, creating more jobs, or aerospace. And every single person in the organization has priorities like that. You need to understand what they are, and then you need to organize the activities of the organization so that each person's priorities, every single employee, every single customer, every single owner, every single well, not maybe every single citizen in the city, but every single uh, person who interacts with the company in some way, from the government or from charitable organizations or whatever. There's got to be something in it for every single one of them. Even if it's a little bit, you really need to push yourself as an organizational leader to make sure that there's something in it for everybody. And it's, you can't assume, well, this is a good thing. They're getting lots of money. Everybody likes money. I shouldn't have to worry about what else they want. Understand what every single person wants and make sure that you organize what the organization is doing, you organize what the venture is doing, so that everybody gets something, even if it's not so much, but something that is what they wanted. And you got to really push yourself to think outside the box for that. Um, Value focused management. Like, I'm a very big proponent of concrete results. Um, but I'm also a very big proponent of people other than me achieving concrete results. Um, I love doing what I do, but if you want to empower other people in an organization, you need to understand what their goals are, agree on, here's the goals of the organization, here's what's in it individually for them, here's the goals that need to be achieved, and then let them do it. Don't interfere, don't micromanage, let people do it, and then hold them accountable. So you put a deadline. If the goals are not done by the deadline, then tell people that you're disappointed and try and figure out how to fix things. So to begin with, all goals should be what's called SMART. They should be specific, like a, a particular thing with a number um, that is attainable. So the A in SMART, it's got to be actually something related to the goals of the organization. It needs to have a deadline, time based, and it needs to be measurable, have some kind of number with it. So, for example, um, setting the goal that someone someone should like interact with customers. Not a very good goal. There's no numbers. There's no deadline. Um, there's no scope defined. Like reaching out on the phone, email, or in person to up to 100 customers per day in order to achieve 10 new customers per month who are buying at least $500 each worth of product. That is a good goal because it's got specific things you can do that are attainable or achievable. Um, you are, you can, the activities are either call people on the phone, go out and meet with them, or send them emails. Um, there's a number, have to do it up to 100 times a day. There's another number, you need to actually get at least 10 of them who agree to buy something, and each of them should buy on average at least $500 worth. And the deadline is the end of the month. So it's got all those elements in there. And as a leader, when people are not achieving their goals, I mean, tell them that this is a problem, but don't make them feel guilty. Usually it's because the goal was too big and they don't know how to get from point A to point B. So if people are not achieving their goals, try to help them break them down into smaller, more achievable chunks. Um, and then no matter how small the chunks are, make sure that you and everyone else are constantly focused on your activities every day in that organization contributing something of value to the venture's overall objectives. Like, you should never spend any time working in an organization without it contributing to something that was a goal of either you or the organization, or preferably both synergized. So make sure that every chunk is contributing to some goal that you and or the organization has. Okay, just two more slides. First of all, on the topic of not hitting target goals, managing expectations is one of the most important skills that anyone can have in life in order to interact with other people, achieve results, but also make sure that everyone is happy. Um, sometimes sometimes goals in life turn out to be unrealistic, and it's important to shoot for big goals. Like, I would never say set your goals as low as possible. Nobody should try and achieve anything big. I think we should try to create Star Trek transporters. We should try to be flying to other worlds. We should not have hunger in the world anymore. We should not have problems with um, global warming. I have very, very ambitious dreams for the world, but if even though you have a big dream, with those little chunks of goals, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1,000, 10,000, in order to get to the goal, um, it's really important to under promise and over deliver. So if I promise you that I'm going to deliver, um, so here, this is actually a good example because I'm running behind in this training. I'm running behind on this project in managing expectations. So this this like training module here is being recorded on Friday, October 14th of 2022. Um, I originally wanted to have these training modules done by December, January. So I'm almost 9 months behind. And it would have been better if I had told everyone when I first introduced this project, you know what, we're going to have um, 5 different really cool online training modules to teach engineers how to be entrepreneurs, and they're going to be available by summer of 2022. And the first one is going to be available before Christmas already. Then people would have been excited and feel like I've achieved my goals now. But because I said all 5 are going to be done before Christmas, now we have 7 actually instead of 5, but they're only getting done in September. If I had promised 1 and then delivered the 5 by the summer, everybody would think I'm a hero. Since I promised 5 and I'm running behind on actually delivering 5 plus 2, um, not that I'm in big trouble, but that's not the way you want to do things. You don't want to promise and then not deliver. So when you notice that any particular goal is in danger of not being achieved, either by the deadline or at the quality level that you want it to be, reach out sooner rather than later and tell people, hey, sorry, I was really hoping this would work. Uh, it's this have proven harder than more difficult than possible. Um, Now the new goal is this. Um, if you do that as soon as possible, then the the less time people are waiting for something and then are disappointed that they didn't get it, the less disappointed they are. If people wait for a long time and are really expecting something, and then right at the last minute find out they're not going to get it, they're much more disappointed than if they only waited a little while and then you told them, hey, you know what? I started working on this. It's actually not going to work by the deadline. We have to have a new deadline. And then people aren't as upset when the deadline passes because you already told them before they got their hopes up. So, really, really important if you're noticing that you're not achieving a goal, or if your staff are not achieving a goal, like super important within the society of the 4 different stakeholders, um, not just society, but within the broader group of all the people in those 4 types of groups. Whenever anybody notices that a goal is in danger of not being achieved, reach out immediately and explain to people, hey, I'm not so sure about the original deadlines. Let's set a new, more realistic goal. And then one last slide here, and we're done. I wanted to make a special note about sustainable entrepreneurship and, like, making the society a better place. Normally, when people talk about sustainability, we're talking about saving the environment from global warming, or we're talking about um, like reducing poverty. We're talking about raising education levels. We're talking about doing good for the society. I mean, sustainable is a broader term, I think, about the business and the organization being symbiotic with its environment. But specifically, when it comes to the physical environment, like the economy, education levels, like job growth, etc., every single venture, almost every single venture in the world does 3 basic things with 3 basic types of resources. So every venture in the world either brings in more money for the venture itself, for the people that work there, for the government with with taxes that come in, or the venture reduces costs, so it makes things easier to do than they were before, and therefore people don't have to spend as much time, energy, money to do things as they did before. So it's not creating more money, but it's having less wasted money because things are more efficient and cheaper, or it makes a product or service better in some way in quality. And every venture uses either human or tangible, so that's physical, touchable kinds of things, or intangible ideas, patents, copyrights, knowledge, skills, and abilities, to deliver something useful to customers. So something of utility to customers. And if you push yourself to think outside the box on how each of those elements, the 3 types of activities that almost any business does, the 3 types of resources that almost any business employs, and the utility delivered to customers, and you push yourself outside the box to think, how else could those things benefit the society other than the original goals of the organization? If you really push yourself to think outside the box in that respect, that, in my opinion, is the best way to generate sustainability, either in the natural environment, in um, our economy, and in reducing poverty, in helping people to better themselves with better education. One way or another, the three activities and the three resources and the utility delivered to customers, one of those things can help with helping people have better education, or can help with reducing carbon emissions, or can help with um, having less people in poverty. And you really just got to push yourself to think, how can those one, two, three, four, five, six, seven things, if you count the three activities, the three resources, and the one like utility delivered, how can those seven things help the rest of the society in some way? If you push yourself to think that way, that is probably the best way to generate sustainable value for the society out of entrepreneurial activities. And that is the end of our training module and the end of the delivery of all seven of these. So, not taking my own advice, I didn't tell all of you guys that I was going to be running behind. I should have set the goal of just getting one out to begin with, rather than getting hopes up that they would all be done a lot sooner than they are. But now they are done, and I hope everybody enjoys these and is able to learn a lot about expanding your entrepreneurial abilities for all of you who are coming from our natural sciences, mathematics, and engineering school. So, as always, let me know if you have any questions. Hope you all are doing well at whatever point you're watching this, whether it's in the middle of the week. Hope have a good rest of the week. If it's at the end of the week, have a good weekend. And if it's at the beginning of the day, have a good day. If it's at the end of the day, have a good rest. Talk to you all soon.